Our next story is about the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, America's most secretive spy agency. The CIA has been a paradox, hidden in plain sight, operating where it shouldn't. For decades, it has shaped global conflicts, it has toppled governments and brokered peace, all without so much as a press release. But now the CIA is making headlines. Why? Because Donald Trump is giving it a makeover. The agency has sent buyout offers to its entire workforce. All employees working in the CIA, they have two choices. Take the deal and leave the agency behind. They would walk away with 8 months of pay and benefits. Or they can stay put and wait for layoffs. It's a tough choice for anyone, even tougher for America's top spies. How many people will this affect? The exact number of people working in the CIA is classified. However, estimates suggest around 20,000 to 22,000 employees. Now, this offer is not a new one. US federal employees received a similar one last week. Trump wants to downsize the US government. The plan is to cut down federal spending. But intelligence agencies were initially spared. After all, their work does not fit the typical bureaucratic mold. But the new CIA director thinks different. His name is John Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe wants the CIA in on this plan. And he has two main goals: to align the CIA with the new administration's priorities and to infuse the agency with renewed energy.
I will unapologetically empower the most talented, hardest working, and most courageous risk takers and innovators to protect the American people and advance America's interests. And I will not tolerate anything or anyone that distracts from our mission.
Well, that's the official explanation, but reports suggest something deeper, a purge. Trump and his aides have long accused the CIA. They say the officers are part of the deep state, a shadowy bureaucracy working against him. So now Trump wants a new CIA, one that aligns with his vision. But there's a catch. The logistics remain murky. The buyout offer was sent to the entire workforce, but not everyone can just walk away. Some operations are too classified to be disrupted. Some missions have been running for years and cannot be abandoned now. Certain personnel, especially spies, could be exempt. And here's the real kicker. John Ratcliffe holds the power. He decides who stays, he decides who goes, and he decides when. How will this impact American intelligence? Let's look at the CIA's history first. It was born in the aftermath of World War II, emerging from the Wartime Office of Strategic Services. In the year 1947, then US President Harry Truman signed the National Security Act, officially establishing it as America's primary spy agency. The mission was clear: collect intelligence, conduct covert operations, and act as America's first line of defense. Soon the CIA became the invisible architect of American influence. It orchestrated coups in Iran and Latin America. It smuggled Soviet missile blueprints. In fact, it fueled the Cold War's shadow battles, trained the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, and killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. Its victories are often buried in classified files, but its failures, well, they play out on the world stage. Like the Bay of Pigs, it was a CIA-led operation aimed at overthrowing Cuba's Fidel Castro. They failed, and it embarrassed the United States government. Which brings us to the CIA's relationship with the White House. It is complicated at best. Some presidents relied heavily on it, the likes of John F. Kennedy and George W. Bush. Others tried to restrain its reach, like Barack Obama. But Trump has chosen an unpredictable approach. He wants the CIA of his dreams, and he can have it, but at what cost? A mass exodus could cripple intelligence operations, especially if experienced officers quit. It could disrupt missions, weaken response times, and strain alliances that rely on US intelligence. Plus, critics believe expertise may take a backseat to political loyalty. So will this overhaul create a leaner, more efficient CIA, or will it leave America's intelligence apparatus vulnerable at a time of rising global threats? Honestly, we don't know that yet. But here's what we can say. For the CIA that may have seen it all, this makeover is unlike any threat it has dealt with in the past. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. touted as the minimum wage defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.